With Hannah away for a checkup, Luke was left alone to watch over his godchild, Kylie Suarez. However, what was supposed to be a simple babysitting turned awkward when the precious child began spouting bizarre things. She's so possessed. Great. I don't think I could spend any more time with Kylie considering how high-strung I feel. So it is a good thing that Suarez came for her as soon as I had called. Alright. Though it is earlier than the agreed upon time, he voices no complaint. Bastard even has a look of relief as soon as they left. Or at least I interpreted it as such from where I've stood by one of the windows, not bothering to step out and greet the man. No, Daddy still doesn't trust me around his spawn. Well, he has every right to be suspicious of me. I am a dangerous man, after all. But to my chagrin, that leaves me with the rest of the day with nothing to do. Well, aside from picking up the mess Kylie left scattered about in the parlor, to my immense relief, she remembered to take her doll home with her this time. But the same cannot be said of the crayons and papers littered here and there. Great, what's going to be on the paper? I'm not looking forward to this. Well, maybe I am. First things first. I snatched my own doodle off the table and rip it to shreds, leaving no hope that they will see the light of day. The rest of the drawings, all Kylie's, remain unharmed as I collect a lot. Though they have been stacked neatly on the table before, they must have been blown about when I saw Kylie off. And there are plenty of them. From cats and cakes to colorful rainbows and gardens, the child managed to make a lot during her morning here. There's one more that I have to fish out of the fireplace where it landed. Expecting to see another one of Kylie's masterpieces, I'm instead greeted with something a bit more concerning. Great! That is Takako, her imaginary friend, although she's not an imaginary friend because she's haunting all of the characters in this game. Wonderful. Great. There is me, and there's Kylie. The two of us side by side, smiling as our stick figure selves stand in a nondescript field. That much I can ascertain without looking at the labels before the doodle's feet. Below the doodle's feet. But a third figure stands next to me in the drawing. A woman with her face hidden behind a curtain of black. Takako, the writing under her supplies.
Takako says you're making a really funny face.
One big happy family. No, we certainly are not. No. You can't force this. No. I'm not okay with this. No.
Taka who?
Takako, a friend I made.
No. Okay, here we go. This was a long time ago. The hairs on the back of my neck stand on end, and I feel a chill go down my spine. A breath. That isn't mine. That has me turning around, expecting, hoping to see someone, anyone. But nothing. And that's when I hear it. Laughter, sweet and merry laughter ringing from the ballroom. Thinking about it has my cheeks burning and my blood running hot. It's as if I'm being mocked. As I stomp towards the door, I have to stop myself from shouting up a storm. I expect to see some of the help dallying about idle from their duties. Perhaps they thought they can slack off in their duties without the head butler around and with my preoccupation with Kylie. Well, they had nothing. Well, they had another thing coming. But again, nothing. Nothing from what I can see with a cursory glance. At the very least, I roam around looking for near impossible hiding places, and still, I'm all alone. Yet I can still hear the laughter, that cursed laughter echoing about in the room, in my head.
Who's there? Show yourselves and show some respect to the master of the house!
Cold uneasiness settles into my stomach when no one answers. I stumble on my own 2 feet, feeling a wave of nausea coming from nowhere. I have to put an hand against the wall to stay upright when the world shifts and pain explodes from behind my eyes. It takes every ounce of my self-control not to heave then and there. The only thing my pride allowed me to do then is to close my eyes and attempt to alleviate some of the pain. Vague, unfamiliar images, dare say memories not mine, flash in my head, unbidden and unwelcome. Like a strong hammer strike to the head, threatening to crack my skull and split it into 2. Whatever emotions they hold are muted. I'm nothing but a spectator. Still, its weight feels palpable, though it doesn't take long for these sensations to get into my head. Through my eyes and my ears, it creeps and buzzes in the spaces between. One after the other, they come at me, an unending flood that threatens to sweep me away for what feels like an eternity. Each one a show of both joy and suffering for those who have called this mansion their home. Each new scene is like a hammer to the head, threatening to crack my skull and split it in 2. I feel a part of these, like I've lived through them, though I know that it's not possible. I'm telling you, I was maybe right. What? Are you serious? Or he just becomes a part of them all because of her magic. Fine, that could be it too. All her anger burns through me, that much is evident, but the pain more so. And both all of it are the whispers, the voices calling, luring, until one image emerges in vivid contrast with the others. When there's a shout of joy, my eyes snap open, looking for the culprit. That's when the whole room just changes. Everything is the same, yet everything isn't. In living memory. Yeah, that's the old couple. There are people everywhere, laughing and dancing. I should be concerned about them, but my mind finds it easy to dismiss them as they fade in and out from nothingness. Instead, I find my concentration drawn to a man and a woman, though one can only call them a lord and a lady going by their clothes. And, oh, just see how happy the couple looks. Though the man's eyes are eerily blank, like he's not all there. His face is familiar, though. In fact, they both are. But I can't quite place why. The two make for a pretty picture as they dance in the center of the ballroom. Even the phantom crowd's attention stay on them. It reminds me so much of Hannah and I during the early days of our marriage. The honeymoon years, they call it. We were happy then, too. All smiles and her sunshine, even with the normal dreary weather. Younger, we had less to worry about, or at least thought that way. I wished we could go on that way even with all that I did and had to do. But life is a way of catching up. There was work to be done. Although we had to stay the loving, perfect couple in public, I could not afford to look so weak. to appear to tie down someone else to those who knew who I really am. It has a heart in my heart when I have business, but it hadn't always been so easy to just switch that part of me on and off. I should be concerned about their intrusion too. Ask what in bloody hell they are doing in my house. Throwing a party as if they own the place. Ask myself how the fuck I didn't notice what was going on before, when the parlor and the foyer are both only a few doors away. There's a horrid feeling of envy. And though I have long accepted that I am a jealous person by nature, I have never felt such a strong feeling of envy as I have now. They were happy with each other, these people, but Hana and I, envy turned into anger for something I could not have. But I have the feeling that yelling and screaming at them won't do much of anything anyway. None of the others have given me notice. I realize that this might not even be real. It dawns on me that these two are the people from the paintings, the ones all over the mansion. Which makes sense. I don't think I'm imaginative enough to make all this up on my own. This must be a dream, or a really horrible high. Just then I can feel eyes on me as I contemplate the absurdity of the situation, yet I find difficulty in trying to tear my eyes away from the two dancing. I manage, and I regret looking away. No, you're so... Please, no. The woman from the gardens stands beside me. I can hear her rattling breath, menacing and shilling. Everything in me screams to run. But something pins me to the spot as she looks at me, watching and waiting. The clamor of their voices fill the ballroom. Although they say such welcoming words, I do not feel comforted by the madness I'm experiencing. Their joyous voices turn sinister and foreboding to my ears. The shores of people that shouldn't exist threaten to overwhelm me, drown me even as I stand on dry land. The music still plays as the phantom quartet continues while I stand here, vulnerable and afraid. I'm so sorry. I don't know if you are seeing this. Great. Okay. Excuse me. The music still plays as the phantom quarters continue while I stand here, vulnerable and afraid. The dance has already ended. I'm afraid that I might just be tonight's entertainment. Attention is all well and good until bollocks like this go down. These phantom people watch me. Thousands of eyes scrutinizing, though they cheer for my return, cajole me to dance to join the merriment. There are eager hands all over, pulling me in every direction, but they do not move me enough to remove me from the woman's gaze.
Listen! Can you not hear them as they welcome you home?
No?
Your kind, our kind. You're one of us, my love. We are bonded by the blood we share.
Wait, what? What have I done to cause this? Okay, he's so dead. I'm sorry. He wasn't the best person though, so... But still. If I thought the voices were over-welcoming before, it is nothing compared to how they are now. Their voices are loud, speaking in unison and echoing on in the spaces of my head. They welcome me back, as if I've always belonged, as if I was meant to be here in the first place. They call me all these titles and names that do not belong to me in that man's face. The one with the empty eyes flashes again before me. Once, fleetingly, like a new memory having burned itself in my mind, I have to struggle for air when I come back to myself after.
I'm not. This isn't.
The welcomes turn into screams at my protest, pained and desperate pleas for my help. telling me that it is my duty to stay, telling me that I belong among them, to them. Gentle touches turn near threatening, the warning scratches and the baring of teeth by predators before they truly maim someone. My mouth goes dry as I struggle to speak some sense in this hallucinatory menace, but I don't get the chance as they drown out my voice.
Our Lord, my Prince.
You know, you're just, okay, you're probably just obsessed with this other man who isn't alive anymore, although they look exactly the same, which is, I don't know. At her words, there is a compulsion to stay. Though my heart races in my chest, the fear I should be experiencing refuses to register in my head. Mind and body war with each other, nearly tearing me in two.
Oh, you finally returned to us,
The compulsion to walk into her arms are strong. Whispers in my head tells me to go to her. They say that she's safety, she's home and heart.
We have been waiting for so long.
But repulsed at these thoughts, I wrench away and turn with a small gasp. Without hesitation, I start to make a run for it. I nearly falter when an angry shriek pierces the air, inhuman and monstrous. Oh, I'm so getting ready for some quick time event now. I don't dare look back. I just run. I didn't care if this is a drug-induced hallucination or not. I should just run. Out of the ballroom. No. And out of the parlor. It's only then that I bothered to look back, hoping and praying to the God I scorn that it did not pursue me. I would have run all the way out of the mansion too if only someone didn't get in my way. I collide with a body much larger than mine and fall back to the ground, head spinning as I look up at the stained glass. Turning my head to the side replaces the colorful sight with a pair of shiny black shoes. Fatigue fills every inch of my being then, making me refuse to get up. Meanwhile, a familiar head of ginger hair looks down at me in bemusement.
You really must look where you're going if you insist on running about. Do tell, where is the fire?
The fire? Did someone, call him?
Oh, thank God you're here!
Or, never mind. I get it because he was panicking. Jeez. One of those dumb moments, you know?
I do hope you don't have a concussion. Can you count backwards from 15 to 1 for me?
Okay, I just want to read the journal. Alone, Luke heard voices coming from the nearby ballroom, and he decided to investigate. He was assaulted by memories not of his own, and at the center of it all is the same woman who appeared before him the day before.
Oh, fuck off, you wanker! Just help me up!
I do not think insulting me if you do have a concussion is a smart decision. But no, really. 15 to 1.
That woman, she was here! I told you to keep an eye out for her!
The other man offers an arm and pulls me up to my feet then. But before I can storm off and pull him to the ballroom, he anchors me down with one hand on my shoulder and the other touching the back of my head.
No bruising or bump. That still does not mean that you don't have a concussion. If you are too lazy to count backwards, can you tell me your full name? Where are you currently?
We don't have Lucille Mitchell Wright, and this is the Ermengarde bloody fucking foyer. But we don't have time for this.
You must make and have the time to make sure you are not broken in the head. I have already sent security to scour the whole house when I saw you running out of the parlor, Dummkopf. If the woman is here, they will have her. You will only be slowing them down if you plan to interfere.
When he points that out, I realize that there are guards starting to filter into the house as we speak, with some already searching the nearby rooms. Armed and uniformed men go about in pairs, making it so that the house is in a flurry activity. He lets go of me then, with the knowledge that I'm not going to kneel keel over anytime soon.
I was hoping that you would be tired from dealing with the young miss on my return. Instead, you come running and hit your head. Such a troublesome boy. Shall I be carrying you to bed, too?
I can manage just fine on my own. Though I don't see how I can sleep until that woman is caught.
It'll be easier to keep you safe in your quarters. This is twice we've known the woman to break in. I think we can safely presume that you hold her interest.
He says it as a matter of fact in a tone that broke no argument. Not like I'll argue if it means I'm kept safe. The two of us hurry upstairs, though we remain watchful and wary of any potential threats to my person. We make it to the master bedroom without any trouble, though, and two of the security are left outside the door. No problems at all. Not until we get inside. Great. Johan's eyes scanned the room wildly, a look of dread on his usually stoic face. And I don't understand for a moment, looking around the bedroom. It's empty. But then, I realize...
Where's Hana? She came home with you from the hospital, didn't she?
She's supposed to be here. I sent one of the maids to accompany her here, to let her rest.
Are you serious? Oh, are you freaking serious? I feel the color drain from my face when he raises a hand to stop me from charging out there. I mean, obviously, okay. She's getting rid of her because that lady was in the way of her love from that blonde, master she had when she was working at this mansion. So I guess she's associating them with, the past couple, even though there are other people. I guess it's just so weird. Why do they look so alike?
Stay.
I'm not staying in here while Hana stays out there.
Alright. Isn't this the same day where they will... I can't even speak. When Ashton went into the cells to capture Marianne. Yeah, this is... Yeah, okay. Got it. Now I'm... Okay. I should have maybe checked it. Oh, yeah, I didn't even, look at the pictures, really. Yes, this is what's been going on in the meantime. Alright. Oh. Yeah. In the night, so this... Oh, I'm getting excited because we're almost at the end. Oh, and I'm kind of sad too. No, I am pretty sad. Okay, let's do this. Excuse my voice.
One of the guards will find her and bring her here.
And what if they don't? What if that woman gets to her first? What if she already has her?
That's not possible.
You can't promise that.
There's no second thought as I reach under my side of the bed and pull out one of my knives. I have no doubt that the other man can take me on if we are both unarmed. But with this, I can even the field, or at least deter him from escalating the situation and risking hurt to either of us.
I'm going out there to look for Hana, and you're either with me or you aren't. I'm not risking Hana, and I'm not leaving her alone.
Still, like a stubborn mule, he refuses to budge from the door. There's a withering look on him that I try to match. One that somehow I'm losing fast to, even with him not saying a word yet.
Can you see yourself in the mirror right now? You are in no proper state to go looking for anyone. If it will make you happy, I will do the looking. But please, and don't make me repeat this, stay where it's safe, where security can find you. We already have one person to be worried about. Please don't add another one to it.
Perhaps it is his tone. In spite of his general disdain for virtually everything that has to do with me, I like to think that over the years he has grown to care for Hana at least. Much as I love to admit this, I trust him with her safety over any servant in this house. So, an equity.
You have 2 hours, Shirokin. I don't think it'll take that long to find one missing woman in this house. 2 hours. Any more than that, and I'm going out there.
Of course.
Despite his words, he lingers. If I didn't know any better, I'd say he wants to make sure I get in that damn bed and sleep before he turns away from me. What am I, a child? Watching me and threatening me like one? There's the reason why we'll never get along.
Well, what are you waiting for?
And the knife?
The knife stays.
Very well.
Only then does he seem to get the hint. With a nod, he leaves, locks and closes the door behind him. Jeez. I gotta get out there. I gotta save Hana. Oh. My bad. Bumping into Luke after his flight from the ballroom, Johans quickly ushered a paranoid man to his room, while the house's security looked for the trespasser, only to be greeted by a room devoid of Hana, who was supposed to have arrived with the butler. Ooh, but we already know where she is. You know, if you don't remember, well, then you will have to find out again, I suppose. For a moment, I still hear his voice while he gives the guards outside firm instructions, then a hush as soon as he departs. What? Then a hush as soon as he departs, and his footsteps fade away. One that doesn't quite last. As quickly as the silence settles, lightning flashes across the sky, followed immediately by the loud boom of thunder. And that winker strikes so dangerously close that I can feel the electricity in the air. The power goes out not a second later, and I feel as if I'm being mocked by whatever greater power there is. All is deathly still for a moment, but soon the rain starts once again. Far heavier than the light drizzle from this morning, it's pitter-patter hitting hard against this place's roof. Despite the noise, I find myself drawn to my bed, exhausted, hoping for a little nap. I'm safe here. Hana will be safe too. Sure, I will find her, and when I wake, she'll be here. It does not take long. Once my head hits the pillow, in a matter of minutes, darkness claims me, bringing with it laughter, some whispers of a twisted love from a time long ago. Oh, here we go. The backstory from the dead couple.
Who are you? Stay away!
Sweet dreams, my love. It'll be over soon. Sweet dreams.